Rops as well, certain potential for it. And here we go, a quick hit, it looks like maybe a split towards B, a bit of a 3-2. 3 down drop, 2 towards Platin already. A bit of a passive hold from the Immortals, but a nice connection from Henny towards Dennis, and now Bolts be under pressure, but plays out cool, none connecting though. How are they allowed to get away with this? Chris J sleeps over the rock, but it doesn't matter. They got the step towards the side, but nothing further.
That was really, really nice to see hold there for Immortals on their bomb side and just making everything work. Even despite one of the players missing a couple of bullets and a terrorist allowed to go in almost towards the bomb side, they still lock it down because they have these kind of crossfires and they have all the positions mapped out. Everyone, and this again, this is the sign of everyone knows exactly what they're doing because this is the round they've practiced a lot, so they know exactly what the positions are and if this push happens, what they're going to do as it happens. And now want to, of course, win that pistol round. Going to see Mousesports buying some Tech 9s and maybe going for a bit of a train rush here again.
Yeah, straight down in towards drop, good pressure, but they back away well. Henny then tries to come in and support, but actually Chris overwhelms. But where do you go from now? This is where things get a bit tricky. It's like, well, we got drop, guys. Right, what more can we do? The UMP's come alive in this one. KNG, they're going to be racking up the frags, so billing some good money for the Immortal side. And that is the general problem with the Tech 9 train strategy, is that when you get to a point where you have to go out into the open and face long-range weaponry, that strategy just doesn't work anymore. So you need to have a plan with that. You can just take drop and then say, okay, we're going to find out what we're going to do if we get to drop and when we get to drop, because then you're going to be locked out, as we saw here. KNG just mopping up. Yeah, good start for him so far, dealing with it well. It seems like Mousesports just literally want to get going quickly. It's rush everywhere, rush everything, and now clean eco. So just going to suffer through this one. Anything you get is a benefit. Any kills, even a bomb plant, brilliant. That's, you know, things that dreams are made of, but very unlikely.
So yeah, the Glock, of course, it's good long range, and gonna have to get up close and personal against the UMP 45. That's not a good situation either. So, oh, as I say that, Henny just gets dinked long range and is now on 57 HP, so take that back then.
But really, Immortals shouldn't even lose a player at this point. Nope. Drop becomes a bit of an issue if you maybe get caught reloading, if they overwhelm. But there's not even a single flash. That's the thing. Normally if there's like a flash or something, you might be able to catch someone off, but at this point, every single player from Immortals can back away from the position they're in. KNG doesn't need to overcommit here. Now you can see them trying to punish that reload. Brilliant pull back to the pistol. Crisp as you like. Very nice, KNG.
Yeah, and you said it there, because he after getting that first kill, he could safely rotate back, but he just stays there because he knows he's up against the Nico, of course. That's kind of like the difference in a player in his confidence levels and his personality. Some players will take the frag and then rotate back because that is normally the clever thing to do, but other players have so much self-confidence in that situation that they just stay there. He goes pretty much pistol against pistol and still wins the duel, and that's awesome for him because he needs that confidence to keep on rolling because he is the new player on the team. Everyone's expecting something of him.
Yeah, and now looking at the buy coming from Mousesports, no AWP to be seen just yet, but a roster that can truly do well with AWPs is this team. Now honestly, Rops as well, a lot of people, you know, oh, we got a little boost there on towards the Titanic spot. Very nice. We'll come back to that. But a lot of people, when they first saw Robster in his team, thought he'd just be purely like a power player. You know, he does rerolling, you know, the FPL scene, but he very much himself discusses the fact that he's a bit of a lurker. He likes to play, you know, quite a smart approach. But I like this from the Immortals. They can leave that one player up on the boost just to keep full middle control and not have to worry about it too much. But they are getting real estate here, which is great. KNG's going to hear a lot of these steps, and Lucas will have to respond accordingly.
Let's see how they're going to make it work. Still one player on the opposite end of the bomb site for Mousesports, as they are getting ready for this A take. So I would love for them to fake in towards B and then hit that A site right now, but it's not happening.
Well, KNG seeing nothing in middle might make them, I guess, just fully look towards long, which actually is a bit of a shout. Sadly for Lucas, he doesn't get the shot he wanted. Oscar already breaks it. Now he tries to respond. KNG just throws himself in there. It doesn't go too well for him, but that's steal coming through. That's the rotate player you want to be seeing coming up with the kills here. Down to the 3v3. Look at Rops' position. He's really trying to be, you know, I guess the cat amongst the pigeons at this point. He wants to keep them on their toes. And now you're going to see Henny trying to fight back. That's the shot you want to be remembering. And now a 2v2.
See it. Lau and Dennis against Bolton and Henny. Only one flashbang between the remaining terrorists and a shot to be had, and it's going to be Lau.
Really like Lau's position. Initially, the only downfall to that is the fact that you can get pushed from that middle section and you're very, very vulnerable. But you know you've got Dennis on the site, and that's a shutout. So well done to Mouse to finally get themselves in this game. They seem to be playing not necessarily one-dimensional CS, but we haven't seen any, you know, like fakes. We haven't seen any defaults. It's been these kind of like all-in plays almost. You know, it's been that very aggressive play towards long. We've seen a lot of the rounds just pistols were like, you know, just dive in, boys. But Doesn't matter, it's 1-3. Immortals still have good money though. Double AWP gonna be straight answered up. That's KNG picking that up one with Henny.
This one's gonna be interesting to see. KNG, as we mentioned in the short preview here, has of course played the AWP role before. The desk mentioned it as well. And he can play a very, very, very good AWP, and that's what he was known for. And now we also know that he can play a strong AK as well, being put into this team. So he's kind of like this all-around player that can do pretty much everything you put him on. And so far, 3-1. Can't argue against that. And Luke is in a position. If the terrorists decide to come in rushing, he has a teammate to do the refract if he dies. And that is the case, so now KNG needs to come in, and he misses the shot and gets leg shotted as well. So that was not how that was supposed to work out at all for Immortals. Now the terrorists, they do have the map control, they have the 1 kill advantage and the damage, and now Rob's coming in from drop zone, getting bolts as well.
That's a power play from Robs there. Already spotting the one by the window, knowing that there's going to be someone there, then getting the frag anyway. KNG desperately looking for a way back into this. I think he might have spotted or heard the players running over towards B though, so hopefully he can just kind of call out to his teammates like, guys, get ready for this. You've got to be prepared for what's about to be coming your way. You can see how passive they're holding as well for Immortals. Very, very far back, one by Cooper. Oh, he gets caught, Oscar! Gonna find him, and now it's completely free reign pretty much for Mousesports. Henny, you've got to dig deep, my friend, and find something to do with this one. Waiting, oh, just looks away at the wrong time. That could have been a bit of information. Now here we go. Christian runs out, gets a bit of a tag. Now the next player comes in as well. Oh my word, Steel's knocked down another. This was a 5v2. Rops, it's on you. You already did well by drop, but there, finally takes down Steel. They know where the last man is. But to try and get out of this situation is going to be tough. 15 seconds, the bomb is all the way over towards A. And he has to get past Rops to get this one done. He knows it as well, but I don't know if he'll guess the position. He won't. And right in the back, there it is. Rops, great playthrough drop.
And I'm not sure if my headset is working. I have no sound, but I can hear myself, so I should be good. No worries then. But yeah, that was a beautiful round coming in there, and Mousesports bouncing back. And Rob's, of course, a player that everyone is talking about. Like, what can he do when he comes into the real situation here, and when he starts like getting into the game? And right now, of course, he's doing well. But Rob's in 6 months. How far can he go?
Yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? It's what more can he do? How far can he push this sort of career? Because we know individually what he's like, and you just watch him. I know Sponge is a big fan. If you ever see him on an analysis desk talking about this guy, he's got a lot to say about him. And mostly very, very positive, of course. Now, Immortals this time, money-wise, the funds have run out. They had their lovely reign for the first 3. Got some money in the bank. Good stuff. Now, not the case. You can see the approach from Mousesports, very passive. You got Christian watching the boost from all the way back in case someone tried to make a play up towards drop. Not going to happen.
Yeah. Mousesports waiting it out, making sure they don't overcommit to anything and make stupid mistakes. And here we go, just using the agility to clear out the positions, forcing Steel away. Pretty much textbook, take a drop control here for Mousesports. And, well, of course, if they push in now, Steel has the opportunity to get a frag, but I'm pretty sure Mousesports is aware of the situation, and he gets shot down.
Nicely done between Mousesports as well. Always in the position to trade in. If that's easy, did find one. There's always someone there to just kind of get back into it. And now the remaining player, KNG, going to have to be kind of clutching at straws to find anything in this. Very, very powerful round from Mousesports. You can see they have such clear intent when they go for these sides. They're not throwing any, fake punches or anything. They're going all in on this. So recovered very well once they go onto that buy. So good stuff from them. Rops leading the way thus far at the moment for those guys. But, it's still early days. It's not exactly like he's breaking out ahead of the others. Which is what KNG could do as well for the other side. Yeah,
as you say, like, it's very simple Counter-Strike right now for Mousesports, but if it's working, then that's fine. There's no reason to change anything. If the simple strategy of throwing at Immortals is working, then you can easily just save them for later on in the tournament, because I'm absolutely sure Mousesports have more advanced stuff than what they're showing us right now. But if it works, I'm trying to fix it.
Yeah, and I'm going to be kind of looking towards if Immortals go back to the double AWP when it's available. Don't think there was any kills coming through there at the end. I think he just got found with the, I think it was P250. So I'm wondering if they go right back to the double AWP when it's available to them. I don't know if it is just yet. So again, curious to see if that's it. Because it puts your CT side on a knife's edge, right? There's a lot of people, analysis especially, are very, very critical of the double AWP, but more and more teams seem to be going towards it, even on Cobble specifically. But still, they've absconded away from every AWP. I don't think they can even afford it here. So just a rifle buy coming in for the CT side. Still a Mac 10 as well towards LOL. So I guess you're just banging it in towards drop, you know what I mean? You just go in, you're like, all right, screw it. If I get a kill, brilliant. Even if I just win drop, perfect as well. So now, Rob's already working out towards Plap. Gonna be getting the molly down towards Coop. Nicely done, starting to rain in, and now you can see the nades coming through. The smokes are coming out. Bolts blinded. Can't do much about this. Has to sit back. This might be retake time, but the timing! He doesn't need to see them, but through the smoke, he finds another! That is perfect from Bolts, and KNG locks down Drop. We've got a game on our hands, finally.
Let's see here. 2v4. Oscar with the AWP. Bomb is still dropped. There's one behind Rock. He misses the shot, and
Oscar.
And that's Steel taking the frag, and now it's all on Christian. And this is pretty much mission impossible because this is not going to happen. And he is taken out. Immortals taking it out. And as you said, we got a game on our hands. These teams are trading round for round and both battling it out. And that is just perfect from Ball. Just holding that rock, getting double frags. Smoke doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think he saw the traces from Rups, but the first shot, there was nothing to give that away unless, you know, we missed something there, his teammates saw it, but still, to be that precise, very impressive. And Immortals recover very well, so credit to them for holding that together. And bearing in mind as well, if KNG wasn't able to, you know, completely keep control of the drop, that wouldn't have happened either. So it all works out well, and now we finally see a boost coming in. Now, I'm not sure if they've seen this. Last round, Christian was watching for this, but a dry play towards Plat coming out here, and that is something you don't expect. Oscar this time won't miss. He finds the opposite number, and now here we go. Finally, it starts to kick off a bit. Bit of a back and forth goes in, but finally, Mousesports break through.
This is back and forth because right now, Mousesports are just stepping it back now. 1v4. Oh, he's so close to getting that because that would have been the bomb. And Dennis now mops it up, but what if he hit that shot and hit the close range as well? 1v2 with the bomb down, but it doesn't matter. Mousesports bounces back and ties it up.
And I actually like that from Mousesports, going in without using any of their utility, almost just kind of taking the fights, not giving away too much of the game. Yep. Really well played out. Oscar hitting the first one. Because it's a topic that doesn't get discussed as much anymore because it's not as relevant because he doesn't choke at events. Oscar's really rounded out his play. He took a bit of a step back and he came back in so much stronger. But it always makes you worry when you see him miss a couple of sitters. You can tell he's a very emotional player. So you do wonder, will that affect him down the line? Looks like he recovered just fine into that round. So maybe you can see him really kind of developing into a more like stable player overall. Yeah. So it's good to see here.
Yeah, and I think Mousesports, in the position they're in right now, is a very good platform for him to do that because there's not too much pressure on him, but there's no pressure at all. So it's kind of like that like golden middle ground that he has right now, where he really can develop as a player and really can step into a bigger role in the future. But right now, of course, something that doesn't have a big role is Immortals in this round with only a couple of pistols. We
were saying it was, back and forward in the rounds. Now, the problem being, for a CT side, kind of sucks when your money is in these back and forward rounds. For the Ts, you can kind of suffer through it, right? You can always kind of cobble together a buy, excuse the pun, but it is now a bit of a problem considering we're just down to pistols. A couple of P250s up. Not much more. And lol there. Gonna find one. I think they spotted another out on the side. Dennis gonna charge for that. Nice and clean. Almost no damage taken. Mousesports keeping them at arm's length.
Clean and easy. And Bolt and Henny trying to get the best of it right now. Hoping for a couple of exit frags here, maybe grabbing an AK and saving that. See, I don't think Mousesports are going to allow it because that's one thing I like about Mousesports as well. When they get into a bomb site and then that post-plant position, they are so well structured. They know exactly what everyone is doing and they're not peeking. They're just holding the positions. They're not taking any chances. And there we go. Actually, Lau goes in and goes for a peek, but gets Henny in, it's fine. Calculated risk. And Bolt will not get anything. No. Gets away with P250 in his life. That's all you can ask for. There it is. So, at this point, Mousesports keep things all together. But I want to see if anyone really breaks into just, stringing together rounds. Because it feels like at the moment, very back and forward. We've seen a lot of aggression from Mousesports. Double ops straight away. As soon as available for Immortals, they go straight to this, which I don't mind it because it does work so often, but it always terrifies me slightly. If you get put in a retake position, you're screwed. If you get put in any slightly bad position with it, you're in trouble. And with an aggressive side like Mousesports, we're going to be in for a bit of a round here. Straight through the window. Are they splitting A fast or what? They're just going for this. KNG instantly turns, spots one out. He knows more pressure's on the way. Here's the steps. He knows there's everyone coming around. He plays this calm, but not calm enough. Chris J double checks, and he finds him. See here, 3v4. Dennis is very low on HP, and this is where the lack of utilities is actually hitting them because they know exactly where the terrorists are coming from, but they can't flash themselves in. They can't use a Molotov to block something off. And now it's all down to firepower. Bolt and Lucas both picking up one, and now it's 3v2, and Dennis is still low HP. Picks up one though. 2v2 bomb planted. But they've got to know there's a player on long. He got a kill there, didn't he?
Yeah, it was okay. That's an interesting one. Bolt's now last alive. 1v1. Christian does have a molly, but where is that bomb planted? Right in the back of the site. He can get the molly down. He doesn't need to get this one away. Bolt, he gets the shot. The molly comes in. It's not quite on the bomb, but it will spread to it. That's going to be a lot harder to deal with, even though Chris J is on almost no HP. There's so few options here for Bolt. He's going back in on no kit as well. 9 seconds, 8, it's ticking down, and Chris J, he tries to make the peak in the last couple of seconds, but that clock is ticking fast.
I have absolutely no idea how far it is because I can't hear the bomb, but it's looking like he's going to make it. So Bolt's getting the defuse there. And 5-5 is the scoreline. So very tense game between these two teams. And as we expected, the desk said it, we said it as well. It was almost going to be a 50-50. And they're delivering it right now.
But it's going to be so costly for the CTs. They're going for the double ops. They've had this kind of up and down game thus far. So you're going to see, again, UMPs coming out. You don't have that kind of fallback plan. If you're down to one person, the opposition's getting bomb plants, these back and forth rounds are going to become painful. They need to stabilize now and try and just smooth out the rest of the game. But again, you look at this. Mousesports still surround, come back in with a better buy. They've got all of the utility they want. They've got all the guns they want. They've got the AWP up on Oscar. I'm wondering to see the distribution again with the AWP as well between him and Chris J. They do take, it's very side dependent, map dependent. Yeah. Really want to see how this one pans out for them. So far, Oscar's had, some really good moments in that one missed shot, but we'll see if he can smooth out his game as well towards the later stages of this map.
Really like Immortals. Even though they have a limited buy here, they're still saving on the smokes. They still have 3 smokes to go here because that's a mistake that a lot of lower level teams do when they have this kind of buy that's not perfect. They'll throw like 4 smokes out in the beginning of the round to block for an eventual push, and then they'll be stuck at like 1 minute 30 remaining with no smokes whatsoever. This mistake is not being done right now by Immortals, and I have to give them credit for that. Still 2 smokes remaining here. Or is that a flashbang? I can't actually see. 1 smoke remaining, my bad.
Yeah, Bolt's pushing up as well. I like this. You're being a proactive CT side. You're not just sitting back. Good information play. There's still a player let loose a drop. That will be a threat possibly down the line, but they have to try and bear the brunt right now because the Immortals are ready. They are willing, and they are in such a good spot. Lucas there just mows them down. The UMPs tear them apart, and the Mousesports side are wondering, how the hell do they know all of this? Robs was surely watching our back. No, he couldn't see it all, and that's how it happened. Immortals in the right place and at the right time.
Absolutely perfect round there for them, and that fully blind UMP 45 spray is just, what can you do against that? It's just nothing.
Because he had the lineup a second, but then it was the second kill that he got where he just like runs in like da-da-da-da. What can you do?
Now Mousesports are running this 4AK 1 Tech 9 like kind of setup that is pretty common nowadays, but it all comes down to how you're going to use it, and if you're going to go for a quick push, which is what they're doing, this comes into play. Let's see Steel getting the first one. Nate comes in. Surely now he's holding the position, and Steel is doing work right now. He's doing work. He's getting every single frag. And rotates back. Perfect round from Steel.
Yeah, a bit of a slam dunk
1 HP to survive as well, I think.
So nice there. Just played out well. You can see him always wanting to go to the nade when he fell back towards window. He's like, no, they're going to try and push me. Instantly readied himself. First player was flashed. That's lol down, but the rest had a fighting chance, but he held that window like a champ. We know what happens at this window. It is a meat grinder if you just pile into it, and he just made the most of it, so nicely done. Immortals get themselves towards 7. 5-7 as we speak. And, well, the money is finally depleted away from Mousesports. He felt they had some good money in the bank for quite some time there, but now just down to those couple of deagles, I guess, and a couple of Tech 9s, and maybe that's all you need.
Yeah. When you're ops, that deagle is everything.
It's an animal.
Lucas also goes down, so despite them having a bunch of pistols and nothing else, this is still looking like a good start for them. Good damage being done, but now Bolt steps in, takes out Robs, and that's all the aggression towards B now gone. Mousesports have to make a new game plan. Where do they want to go now? They have done some damage, they must know this, and they've got a kill on the opposite bomb side, so it's all on them. What's the plan here?
Well, I like the position from the Immortals, even though they haven't seen too much. They're playing quite deep in towards A, so they're not allowing themselves to be run over by pistols or, allowing these mistakes to happen where you fall and then, a rifle falls into someone's hands and it all spirals away. It's not a bad shout to be doing, but they're down to, 48 seconds? Ooh, K&G not landing the shot there. Goes back in. Oscar goes down. But they have slowly worked, well, not even slowly, they have worked their way up middle. But now, here we go. Lucas comes into it. That's a good shutdown so far. Only 1 kill really coming through from that push in the end. So good work from the Immortals.
Yeah, of course, these are rounds that Immortals should win, but I like the fact that they're winning them with such ease. It's not hard for them to do it, because that's the problem we see sometimes with pistols in CSGO, with P250s, with the Tech-9s, with the Deagles, that sometimes they can just win a round if the CTs don't watch out.
Yeah, exactly. If you get complacent in any way, you know you can be punished. And, well, these guys are keeping control of it. It seems like the Brazilian teams do have a good mindset for that. We look at SK as one of the teams who do it as well.
Yeah.
Even on their T side, they approach very nicely. Now KNG, ooh, that looked on him. Do it! The tag! Look at that, Oscar. You're gonna be reeling off that one.
8 HP to survive, and as we mentioned time and time again, that double up setup on Immortals on that CT side is working wonders for them right now. Oscar taken down to a very low amount of HP as they are trying to execute towards this A bomb side. Lucas in a great position in the middle of things, and KNG then holding the longer angle and tries to do the spray transfer, gets the first one, not the second, but still good hold.
KNG's now in trouble though. He can't back away freely because they're pushing up middle. He's got support coming through finally from the balcony, but they could be anywhere by now. Lovely adjustment though. Chris J gets completely spanked back, and the follow-up is sublime. Spots another, and it's an absolute masterclass from KNG. You do not see that every day.
That was pixel perfect from KNG there. What a round from him. And it's what he needs. Let's be real, he needs to come into this team, he needs to make sure that he can do the roles that he's given, but also the roles that he wants to have in the future and how he wants to grow with this team. And right now he's showing that, yes, you have good AWPers, I'm a very good secondary AWPer as well.
That was so nice, so nice.
Auto sniper.
Is it out?
Here we go.
Oh, Lord above. Lucas, why have you got to do this to us? Why are you like this?
All right, here we go. Scrappy buy for Mousesports, not a lot of utility on them.
Where is the auto sniper? Where is Lucas playing it? I'm kind of curious. I can't actually see the minimap. We're casting from the analysis test. It's far away. But I'm sure we'll find out soon.
Yeah, we'll find out. Henny with the AWP at Chicken. Misses the shot, though. This could be the opening. Rob's on low HP, though. Ball's close range.
Yeah, Boltso gets overwhelmed. Those Tech-9s come in leaping. Steel as well now going to throw himself into the mix. Spots one by Coop, gets the shot done. No, it was KNG to actually get this one through. Now LOL starts to flex into the situation, but it's all KNG. This guy, where is he coming from and where is he finding these shots?
Wow. Okay.
There he is.
This is not DE Cobblestone anymore, it's just DE KNG, because he is just mopping the floor right now with Mousesports. It looked very close in the beginning, and then KNG just decided to connect to the server and just wreck everyone completely. It's 3 or 4 rounds in a row where he's just taking everyone out.
I don't know what to say about that. The one round he did, the round prior, was all right, that's pretty nice. That's not bad at all. This, though, from his perspective, let's see this. All right, up close shot towards a player pushing out drop. Peeking over towards stairs, very nice. Waiting for the next pixel of a pick. This guy. All right, there's something to be said about someone.
He knows exactly where everyone is. That's also the knowledge you have, also from the information from your teammates, but also the way that you structure yourself around the map and what positions you spot at the correct time. It's just perfect from him, and that's you don't see rounds that are played that perfect from players, because usually you gamble on a 50-50 and you choose a specific position. The other player's not there, and then you get shot in the back or something like that. This time, everything just works out.
Wow, I'm thoroughly impressed. We're actually getting a very good game here between these two. I'm liking it. I kind of banked a little bit more on Mousesports coming in with a little bit. I don't know. It seemed very straightforward approach from Mousesports. It wasn't that kind of tactical depth. It seemed very, very brute force-ish. And now here we go. Bit of a big hit comes through towards B plat, it seems. Good counter flash slowing them down, though. So now Lol can back away, choose a new position if he fancies it. Something he can actually back away with. And now Rob's going to be doing the same thing. We're going to see the smoke coming through to play. And the Immortals have to hit the site now.
The push comes in, and Rob's in the perfect position on the back of the spawn site on Chicken Cube. Smokes are coming in from the terrace as well. Chris J, Dennis, both with 1. And now it's all of a sudden 3 terrace remaining. Lucas low on HP as well, trying to get into the bomb site, but nothing is happening where he's running in and dying. And all of a sudden, Mousesports bounce straight back with a perfect pistol round. Nothing done at all by Immortals. Very simple B push, puts a couple of smokes down, rushes into the bomb site, and gets nothing done.
It just didn't have the shots, it felt like. So sometimes I guess it can just boil down to something that simple. If you don't hit the shots, it just doesn't work out for you guys. But you got to feel it was just you're waiting for that trade to come in, or a couple of kills, and it was just literally nothing. It was a very, very flat round from the Immortals, but time to come back through this one. Hopefully they've got another couple of bits in store for us. As double stack towards long from Mousesports. Dennis is there. He's going to be caught off guard here. Yeah, right on the corner. The Tech-9s
the nade.
start to come through. Good nade connection. Look at that. The Immortals are in trouble, but so is Oscar. And there we go. 2 big kills come in for Immortals. They are wounded. They are weak. But
to the rotate back now.
Yeah.
That's the question here, and it looks like it. So I actually agree with that rotate, despite, of course, the CTs aren't going to know this. But Mousesports already had a couple of players rotated on that bomb side, and already one going straight towards long hold in that position when they came out through the smoke. So they are setting themselves up for a more advantageous duel than the one that they would have on the A side, despite opening with 2 frags. And they're still running out this clock here. No utility whatsoever. An MP9, and then just a full Tech-9 train.
Rops, you're playing such a dangerous game, and yeah, they've just spotted him all. No, it's a disaster. They just explode towards the site. The follow-up is perfect, and there's nothing to be done. Christian's going to try and make something happen, but gets spread out. KNG, even if he doesn't get the frag, he's got the information, and that's more than enough for now. That's going to send the alarm bells ringing. And Mousesports, what a disaster of a round. Everyone seems to be caught off at the worst times, when they pushed up on long, and Christian doesn't check it. There it is, steal.
You just feel for them because everyone has experienced that thing where, okay, you spot at a position, you have you gone out for like 10-20 seconds, okay, they're not coming, you switch to the nade, the exact second you switch to the nade, they just all pop off. And that happened for 2, maybe 3 players in this round here from Mousesports. It's so hard to do anything against the Tech-9 that just comes rushing like that.
And look at the money as well for Mousesports now, it's pretty trashed. A couple of Deagles invested, P250s. Immortals have the upper hand here, but we know what these Deagles can do. We know what these guys are capable of. Rops already showed us that Deagle certainly got a little bit of fight to it, but still, Immortals, you've got to be smart in your approach. Let's see if that SK sort of vibe can be attached to this team as well. They're so methodical on these rounds.
So Mousesports, just a couple of Deagles, 5-7 and P250. What can they do with this? Right now they're stacked on the correct bomb side. If Immortals are showing us their true strat here, if it's actually going to be in B execute, so that's at least something for them. And they're just holding back positions. They don't want to overextend themselves and peak too much, while Immortals is just using their utility to kind of block off and get the CTs out of the best positions. Flashes are coming in now. It looks like the push is coming.
Yeah, Christian around the verge of this too. They both line up, but he can't get the shot done. Bolts and Lucas keep this one rolling. Rob's not going to land an easy one here either. That's a problem. You want that first quick connection, back away from it? No. And again, we're down to 1 now. Oscar, that's 2. The 2's enough. 3 alive for the Immortals and around on the board, and that's the important factor.
And they're starting to take off now, the Immortals. Of course, having that great streak at the end of it where K&J just went off, losing the pistol, but then bouncing back straight after that. It has to be so hard for Mousesports to mentally reset themselves, because usually you use the pistol round to mentally reset yourself and say, okay, now we got it, guys. Straight after that, to just get Tech-9 due to individual mistakes. And it's so hard to bounce back from that. Like, what are you going to say to yourself? Like, okay, I'll just try again. Like,
yeah,
it's impossible.
No easy answer, is there? And for Mousesports now, time to recuperate a little bit. Maybe take a bit of a breather in this round. 2 P250s invested. Immortals, plenty by the side. A Mac 10 as well. Lucas looking to make a bang for his buck. Steal carefully backs away just as they start to emerge. But look at this. Henny already working his way up here. Gets a spot by the door. Very well played.
I actually like that, even though it might have been a mistake for that smoke, but it actually allows him to go in because the smoke is still there blocking off, but he can get in close range without having the smoke, and then he can take that duel. And it works out very well for Immortals, who are now looking absolutely perfect here on Cobblestone and looking like to go through into the next game because they're on 13 rounds now, only 3 away from a victory.
Yeah, this has probably been the cleanest game we've seen so far. If it keeps up with this pace, that is, Mousesports can certainly get back into this. This is the first time we're going to see again that really nice buy coming in.
Is Lucas going to stay on the Mac 10 despite his teammates having like plenty of money to drop in an AK, despite them knowing that it's going to be a full buy?
You're 13-6. If you do anything with that Mac 10, you're doing so much work. He knows that, well, they're not going to have head armor, they're going to have armor, but...
Yeah.
So he can do something, even if you just get some sort of map control, it's a bit of a nuisance. Look how confident he is, he's just flying around. Now, yeah, he feeds Oscar, but he also sells the fact that it might be an A. He's kept 2 players very dedicated towards this. They don't know the information. They'll find out fast, though, because Bolt has found Robson now. Lol's put into the action. He's put in an awkward position. There's players left, there's players right, and there's one in drop, and he looks at the wrong one at the wrong time. And now we're down to 2 playing retake, and they were both the A players.
Yeah, and it works really out in this really well out this round because he sells the fake like that. So I'll take that back, and that was actually a really nice decision from Immortals there, going for that play and get the bomb down. 4v2. Oscar, of course, going to save his AWP. Dennis should do the same as well, and with his weaponry, and it's going to be 14 rounds from Immortals, and they have a pretty good bank right now, and they don't actually need to worry about money for the rest of this game if it just goes as it is right now. So Immortals bouncing back into this one, and Mousesports, we all backed them, and they're not looking good right now.
Oh, it looked a little flat, didn't it? It didn't have any big rounds coming for themselves. There was nothing beautifully tactical about what they were bringing either. It just feels maybe a little lackluster. You know, it's the first group stage game for them, but still, you don't. Oh no, they've lost out on the AWP as well.
Wow.
What a disaster. How much money do they have now on the Mousesports side? It's got to be pretty low. I think it was like
question.
4K max, I guess.
We're going to find out in a second after we see this replay here of Bolts just coming into the side, just completely clearing it.
Yeah.
I really like the fact that they peek out of drop zone at the same time as he's coming down from plateau.
And Immortals are almost on full money, and you can see Mousesports is by. This is horrible to watch. Mousesports are really struggling. Sound is going to be, you know, information gathered though. Christian is going to hear all the steps towards B platform, but what are you going to do to stop it now if you're Mousesports?
Oh, that's a good beginning. But just as that happens, the rest of Immortals just bomb rush the bomb side, and Bolts is just doing work right now. 3v2. And a chance for Mousesports to retake.
All right, they can do a boost. Who's boosting who? Get in there. Oh,
Come on.
No, he's too close to the ledge. That was awkward. There we go. All right, Christian makes it through. He can now do a little something, but there's going to be a player on the platform, and you know it, but no.
Nice.
Bolts wasn't all that aware of this being a possibility, so he falls. And now the next player on the stairs tries to take his timing at the right point, and now Lucas, oh, here we go, Christian. Let's do this, 1v1. I need to find bombs planted and ticking fast. He doesn't have much time on this. No kit to hand either. Oh, he's made a poor guess, a poor choice, and Henny positions well. And Immortals ruining that round. You can see Chris J frustrated, and you can't blame him.
Did such a good job up until that. Correct decision making, using the Molotov, actually forcing out the CT, playing that close range in an off angle with the Max 7 as well. Like, really nice round from Chris J, but in the end, in a 1v1, it's a gamble pretty much.
Yeah, you roll a dice, and sadly it didn't work out well for him. Finally, we get a double AWP buy, but it's still lackluster. Mousesports' economy has been so shambolic throughout this entire game. You've got to feel that maybe if they had a bit more of a stable money situation through this, they could have done something more, but it's just not been the case. Now Lucas wants to take this one home, already lingering out towards Plat, but backs away from it. Smoke comes in, and Immortals finally have to slow down a touch.
Yeah, that's probably also like a calm and collected voice in the team just saying, don't rush this, we got plenty of time, there's no reason for us to give anything away. And once again, like as we talk, like it's kind of like they're the smaller brother of SK, which has the same like mentality to things. We don't want to give the other team a chance to come back into the game. We want to play this safe because we know we're the best team. And that's exactly what Immortals are doing right now. Just running down the clock, making sure that if the ZTs want to make mistakes, they're going to allow it, and then they're going to capitalize on it. If not, then they're going to do their own execute and focus on their own strengths.
KNG does have a molly left. There's a player in that. Ooh, nice shot from Oscar. No cheeky flank coming through. Lol chooses the time to back away well, though. Smoke comes out, and the hit looks pretty likely now from the Immortals running through. The molly's still burning, and it's not quite extinguished the fire, so they have to back away from this. Lucas moves away. Flash still comes through, though. They're still trying to sell like there might be some attention here, but with Lowell in this position, they get a lot of the info. 30 seconds left now. They need to make this hit count.
The bomb is rotating towards the other bomb site right now, and so is the rest of the terrorist team. From Immortals, and Bolt is in this perfect middle position here. He's going to have to make a lot of noise.
Oscar, no, you bank on hitting these shots, and there we go. Finally, oh no, it's traded. KNG is there. This is now looking terrifying. 9 seconds. KNG, what a shot, but where's the bomb? It goes down, and now a 2v2, and KNG is feeling this. Player in Connectory now knows it. He holds the angle. He gets the frag, and now one man stands. KNG knows where he is as well, but he doesn't need to do it. Lucas was there. And a definitive scoreline. Immortals looking very strong at this point. They came into that, it looked a little close to begin with, but Mousesports gave him a second.